Hi, this is Sean from A Little Better Every Day, T minus 313. Today is a 50-day recap, and it's to determine whether or not I am 50% better than I was on March 26th when I started this journey. Um, Now, I started this journey as a middle-aged person who, a few years ago, started realizing I'm not quite as mentally sharp as I used to be, and forgetting a couple more things than I used to, or a little more difficult to get a name than I used to get. Physically, I'm slowing down a little bit. Workouts a little harder. I get injured easier. A little cramping up easier. Um, Business not flowing. Not don't have the same energy towards trying to get stuff done. And I don't accept that. I am not willing to give in and say, okay, it's all right. I'm a little slower, a little this, a little that. No, no, I'm refusing to accept that. And so I have started this journey to go ahead and make myself a little better every day and as many things in life as I can possibly hit at the same time. Because it's only 1% better every day, it seems more manageable. As opposed to saying I need to accomplish this in this time frame and as a big chunk and a big thing. This is just a little better, a little better, a little better. So now time is to go ahead and take a look and see, am I 50% better than I was 50 days ago? And that's what we got going on here. So going back to the first video, I was talking about I wanted doing this to keep myself accountable, which I've done. I've recorded a video every single day, and I've talked about what I've done to make myself a little bit better. Now, one thing I've veered off of is I realized I've started making more of a video diary as opposed to really trying to be here as a coach or someone, not necessarily a coach, but someone to inspire and motivate you to go ahead and find something in your life you want to improve. So I want to go ahead and get more to that because I think that's where there's more value. You guys don't need to know anything about my life, but at the same time, if I can help improve things, show you how I've improved things in my life, maybe that's a way you can improve things in your life too. So that's the first thing. I assume not all, there's other middle-aged people out there who lost a mile or two off their fastball. That's my assumption. People I know say that, so that's where we're at. Um, so one of the goals I set forth also was I want to be 168 pounds by my birthday, when I have my 60th birthday. Um, so it would be down to 168 because I was 178 when I started. Running, I was not running consistently. In fact, I hadn't run more than 10 miles a week all year prior to my birthday. Um, my business, I need to get it more consistent. I need to close at least 2 loans a month, preferably 3 to 5. And that's something we'll review in a minute. Um, I need to get my stretching and strength done stuff so to make myself more flexible so I am able to work out better. And now let's go back to the recap and see where I was and where I am now. So my weight was 178. This past Friday I weighed at 172.6. That's 5.4 pounds off. It's more than half of my goal. I think that should count as a 50% gain in my view, because I don't want to be losing more weight than that, more quickly than that. The other thing which was interesting is I checked my fat. I was at 26% fat when I started, at 24.1% fat this morning. So my fat went from 46.28 pounds, that's scary to hear, down to 41.6 pounds. So I lost 4.68 pounds and 5.4 pounds of weight. So most of it was fat, and that is really good to know. I'm very happy about that. And we'll talk about the goals here in a minute. Running wise, I've run 27 times in those 50 days for 96 and a half miles. Um, I've also stretched or done strength workout 22 times during that time. I need to get that number up, but we'll talk about the goals going forward. Um, and this week was the third week that I've done at least 20 miles in a week. And before this, I hadn't done more than 8 miles in a week all year, beginning of 2025. So that is a big increase, and I think that counts as a 50% improvement. On push-ups also, I'm up to 2 sets of 16. I know it's not a lot. I was doing 3 sets of 35 last year, but I let it go, and I'm just building up slowly. And so I was at 2 sets of 10, now it's 2 sets of 16. That'll be continuing to add on as we go along. I did intervals for the first time since 2006, and I'm liking it. And I'm doing it by myself on the track or where I pace it off. and building up my speed that way. So it's good to know that I am able to get that done. Um, Talked about that already. Um, my channel, I've done a video every day. And so, um, like I said, it's become more of a video diary versus something that can put out there to help improve people's lives. And so I want to really, again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a neurologist or a psychologist or psychiatrist or nutritionist, but I can tell you what I'm doing that's working and tell you things that aren't working. And hopefully you can take that and use it in your life to help improve whatever it is you want to improve. So, um, mental fitness brain games, and I've been doing them. I continue to do them. 50-0 on Nerdle and 48-2 on Wordle in those 50 days. And I started learning Spanish. I'm using Duolingo, it's a little app. It takes a few minutes a day, every day, and I'm learning actually that I'm learning Spanish words. I am not ready to go ahead and have a conversation yet, but I'm only a week and a half in or so, and I'm realizing I'm retention. There's some retention going on here. So that's a good thing, and it's a way to expand your brain and really go ahead and keep improving things going forward here. All right, that's talking about the past. So where there was 50% improvement in my view, I think the weight qualifies. I think the running qualifies. Um, and you know, starting to learn Spanish, I think that is a huge, huge plus. So I think all those are improvements that I think are worthwhile, incredible, and also my closings are going through and my pipeline growing is very good too. Trust me, that makes things a lot better. So in the next 50 days, I want to continue to do a video every day. Um, on top of that, I want to make these videos better. How I'm going to make them better? One, I'm going to do a thumbnail on here. Once I learn how to do that, I've watched 2 videos on it. And I still don't understand it, so I'm going to figure that out. Maybe my daughter can help me. But to do a thumbnail so you don't have a picture like as the beginning, but as the picture, but rather something that's intentional on there, that is good. Second thing, I'm going to continue in my zone 2 training, something I learned about in these past 50 days. And it seems to be working because it's allowing me to run. This morning when I did my 7.2 mile run, the longest run I've done in who knows how long. I didn't go back to check last year to see how long it's been since I've done it. I could have kept going because I was just going nice, easy pace, and I was hydrated, and I had protein in me, and carbs in me, and I was able to go, and I could have gone another several miles if I wanted to. I didn't have time to, but I had that in me, and that's something I didn't have 50 days ago. But I want to continue to do zone 2 training 3 times a week. Keep doing the intervals, keep making them longer and longer as I've been doing it. And I maybe added some tempo runs on Monday because how I used to train um, allowed me to go ahead and really get more used to race pace, closer to race pace. And I'm missing that. I'm not sure if it's right or if it's smart. I'm going to do it because it's what I'm used to doing. And I'm hoping that that'll help get my progress on my zone 2 going faster. Um, I'm not going to push it. If it turns out I start feeling a little too tired from that or a little cramping or something from that, then I'll back off. But I'm going to give it a shot. My weight. I want to get down to that 168 and my percentage of body fat from 24.1 now. I want to get down to 22%, because that would mean I lost another 4 pounds of fat, and that would be great. Business, got to get loans in the pipeline closed and continue to add on to them and keep it going. And I've got some other opportunities out there that I'm examining that I'm interested in checking out. So hopefully some of those things come to fruition. But meanwhile, I need to keep the head down and stick with plan A, which is getting my mortgages done. My channel, again, I want to get a thumbnail going. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers. Can you help me with that, by the way? Can you please subscribe? If you're someone who is finding any benefit to this at all, and you're seeing, hey, you know what? I want to listen to this guy as he goes through the process. Most of the videos aren't this long. Most of them are only like 3 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. But please subscribe and like it, and even share it, on your social media. That'd be so great because I really want to get to 1,000 subscribers here in the next 50 days. Um, Let me see, but I also want to make sure these videos are more focused on you, the viewer, versus just kind of like I say, my video diary. Um, Mental fitness, continue the daily Spanish training. It hits me on my phone every day. I go ahead and I do it. It takes a few minutes, and plus I can keep doing the brain games and seeing what else I can do. I've been reading more in a book, and that's something else I think is good. And I've been singing more in the church choir, so that also is something that helps with the brain function. Um, Lastly, most importantly, one thing I have not been working on that I need to, and this is something, if any of you have suggestions out there on how to do it better, I need to improve the communication that I have with my family. Um, my wife and daughter, I need to go ahead and make sure I'm we're on the same page on things, and um, need to get better at that. It's something which is causing me issues, and I don't want to cause issues. I want things to go well. So, anyway, please subscribe, please like, please share. Thank you so much. Have a great day.